And sometimes you need to communicate that. Oh,
Here we go. And the cleaner start from Worcester than from St. Cat's behind them. They threw a lot of water up, but behind them, LMH have got a flyer.
Yeah, and they're
really
sticking really out of the stream. So if they hold their line there, that's a crab from Cat's.
That's a big crab from Cat's. They are going to get absolutely slaughtered now, I'm afraid.
Catastrophe.
Because that's LMH have now made their bump, but the girl at 3 has to get that blade out because the crew that's been bumped must row on. And unfortunately, St. Cat's rowing on with a few people means they go very, very slowly, and it means.
And Hertford will probably catch them. In fact, Hertford should really move, do some evasive manoeuvres so they don't get caught up in that, because otherwise they'll be in the racing line. And it looks like we've got Magdalen chasing Univ.
Yes, and all the copters are aiming for the gap that's closing off, which is going to be difficult. And there's a bump coming up here from Magdalen on the Univ, almost certainly.
Though Magdalen are in the middle of the stream, so they will suffer for that.
Just going under Donington Bridge, and there you can see on the bank the LMH crew who pulled over to the other side because they got their bump so early. And this is...
Oh, poor Cats.
That's still Cats. They're going to be rowed past by everyone.
Oh, and I hope they're...
And now the river is complete. We could have a Clacton here.
That could be yes.
This is a major, major pile-up, and that's St. Peter's coming up. So that's crew number 7. St. Peter's has stopped. Christchurch have just... the bows of Christchurch went right over St. Peter's.
This is
when it gets very unpleasant. And this is one of the real dangers of bumping. And this is the lovely hats of St. Edmund Hall, who can just have the first clear course of the day and get through.
And unfortunately for Christchurch, they... that was Christchurch. They won't have got the bump on Cat, so they are still technically a racing crew and have been overtaken.
Oh, so Lord, and they think they've stopped, yes.
So they think they've bumped because they've hit the crew that hit... Yeah.
And Wolfton have overbumped. All these crews who've stopped and didn't actually get the bump because they hit a bumped-out crew are sitting there thinking their job is done, and actually they are still racing.
And it looks like Magdalen are still racing.
Magdalen have decided they need to get going, and they've managed to avoid Wolfson, which is good.
Although I don't know if they caught Cats. It's all a bit of a mess, isn't it?
And the umpire's launch is going to take notes. Well, good luck to the umpires on this one. I make no predictions, but I think what you said there, as the crews ran in to each other, I'm trying to think of the order they hit, and I didn't make notes because it was happening so quickly.
Well, I think everything hit Cats.
It's who they hit, because Cats were actually on the inside, so successive crews were stacking into the crew that had been ahead of them, in which case they've bumped, haven't they? And Cats just dropped down the list. But if somebody hit a bumped out crew, which Magdalen think they may have done, and actually Harriet was saying before, if you're not sure if you've been bumped or not, keep going. So Magdalen, who set off, have done the right thing. They may find later they've got the bump, but at least they've had damage control.
Yeah, whereas Christchurch, who
just sitting down there waiting.
Yeah.
Yep. And this is Teddy Hall with the
bucket hats.
The sexy bucket hats. The multicoloured bucket hats, making a really good fist of catching up on
St. Cat's.
Is that Cats? Oh yes, it's the Catherine wheel, not a cross. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, that's Cats. Who were the ones who caught the crab in the first place, and I thought they got bumped out.
Which is probably giving Worcester quite a nice quiet row over, so they'll be a bit more fresh for when they do the sandwich boat in the next division.
Yes, I honestly have no idea what the outcome of this is, but I think there are going to be quite a few appeals.
Yeah, I do hope the cox of the Peters crew, who almost got impaled, is okay.
It did look like the bows went over between the cox and the stroke.
Yeah, quite scary.
And I know 3 people have had damage from accidents in boats, and it is always life-changing.
Oh, and it looks like Teddy Hall have caught St. Cat's, so they also bumped out. Which is impressive given that they started 9th and Cats started 2nd.
But they were gifted such a lovely clear bit of river between the carnage that was unfolding before them.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to the Cox for finding the gap there. That's quite a feat, really, to see the gap and know that your boat can fit through it safely.
I actually think that Magdalen hit you. No, they didn't hit Univ, did they? Univ kept going. Christchurch hit Peters, and Peters.
Peters had already bumped Cats, I think, by that point. I think Cats, they got caught in the tie-up.
So if Peters were the ones that had bumped, then Christchurch are definitely in trouble.
Yeah.
Because they stopped racing and let both SEH and Wolfson get past them.
I have a feeling there'll be some late night appeals going on and trying to figure out what's going on there. And hopefully the umpires were all watching and have at least a good memory of what happened in what order.
But as you can tell from the way I stopped making notes, because normally I make a note of the bump when the real accident started to happen. I don't know if Phil, who's watching, actually plotted the order of the collisions, and we won't call them bumps, but it's definitely this is one for the judges to come and sort out afterwards. The good thing is now, actually, with doing this video streaming, they actually have a recording of what happened, so that can be replayed and assessed. So they've got VAR or the TMO on the case here, so they can actually run through the order of events and make the right decision for the right cruise. So this is a prime example where technology can actually help a traditional sport. And I don't think anybody, having seen that, if they watch it back again, would then have any argument with the decisions that are made. And it makes the appeals an awful lot easier. So rowing up towards the finish there, they've just crossed the line. That is University 3. So Univ have rowed up.
Oh, okay, yes. No,
yes,
Worcester in the pink at the top, and then Cats have are just crossing the line now. And this is LMH paddling up, having bumped.
Yes, being paced by a launch. And that's Wolfson just approaching the finish line. And they have almost certainly overtaken Christchurch, who we think was stopped without actually having bumped.
And they're looking quite neat there, aren't they?
Well, they did a good job on when they started in the previous division, because they caught Bennett's Hall so quickly. And they obviously know they've passed people, so they're very happy with their day's work. And actually, Wolfson are doing very well.
Yeah, for these boats here, actually racing the course, even though it might tire you out for the next day, it's good experience, it's good practice, and you can recover quite a lot in that next day. And depending on who they're catching, it might be a short race tomorrow, but or who they're chasing, sorry.
Yes, well, they've proven they've got a good start, and now they've proven they can get up the course, and they're rowing well together. That's nice, cohesive rowing. The boat's relatively stable; it's not rocking a lot. Bit of steering going on. We don't know whether that's from the pressure of the blades or the rudder being applied. No, that bodes well for them tomorrow, as they'll be in Division 6 again.